massively, because, I needed good physio rehab, but intensively. So I've been having rehab twice a day for nearly 5 months now. And so I have moved from sort of being in bed or being hoisted into a chair to some kind of independence, with a walker, with this mobility aid, and it's made a huge difference. You feel like a human being again, really, yeah. Well, initially I'd had a hip replacement, but unfortunately it became infected. I got sepsis, so they had to remove it. So I have got no proper hip joint in my left hip. So I've been in and out of hospitals, a couple of care homes, and then actually went home with carers, but so needed hoisting to get in and out of bed. And though the care was good, there wasn't much. I had to do the work to try and think, what am I going to do? Surgeons wouldn't put a revision in, like a second one, because the bacteria is supposed to be still inside, and they didn't think I'd get off the operating table again, so that wasn't an option. But I'm far too independent to stay in bed or a chair. And I've missed so much of family life and my grandchildren and everything. So I Googled and looked for rehab. And there's very little physio rehab in a setting like we have here. I know it's Therapies on Thames work with this particular home, but I couldn't find much. Most rehab is sort of drugs, alcohol, spinal, neuro, all very important. But considering the age of our population and lots of people as they get older, they not only have they had a hip replacement, but our bodies just start creaking, and I mean my shoulders do. I'm sure you know, my shoulders scream every day almost, but that's arthritis, So anyway, so I found this home and Therapies on Thames that work in liaison, and sort of over 5 months it's been slowly, which it was going to be, because I'd like everything done by yesterday, but it's taken a long time. We've had lots of tears, but we've got pretty well there. I can now get up, I can transfer myself with this particular machine, mobility aid, and I just feel I've got a bit of independence back in my life again. To start off with, I had lots of them sort of in my bed or recliner chair, and it was sort of really getting the legs and feet and arms to sort of move, doing simple but important exercises just to make your feet go up and down, try and bend legs and things. So sometimes they had to be bent for me, trying to move them in and out of bed and things like that. And my least favourite, these sort of stretchy band things, which are painful, but still, and trying to move the shoulders up and down and around and hold your hands and stretch up, and lifting feet and knees up off the chair. And it's like building blocks, really. You need to do all these sort of things. And at that point, I was still being hoisted. So I've been through a few different machines. One was a great big thing that I had to hire that had a sling underneath me, but it would physically lift me up to standing and then try and walk. And with each machine, I was completely terrified of them, which why there were a lot of tears. And so we went from slightly smaller one, and then less, and then different particular ones. And then I've got this top rotaurus that Therapies on Thames have got, and again, I was terribly nervous of it to start off with, because having not walked or moved for 18 months, the muscles just you know, they just waste very, very quickly, but they don't regain their strength that quickly. And also not having a hip, though the muscles were all there. And at the beginning, I used to remember saying to Shri and Devi that it felt like I was clicking in and out all the time and the leg was sort of flopping, but it's just really to get the muscles stronger and working around, because they've put a spacer in my hip, which literally is a round cement ball that just fill the space where the hip joint would be. And usually they're put in before people have a revision, but this one will be here probably for as long as I am. So I have to learn to live with it, but gradually the muscles have got stronger. Ironically, this leg is not as painful sometimes as my shoulders, but that's arthritis. I keep asking for people to buy me new shoulders, but so far no one has come up with that yet. Well, I'm able to get in and out of bed on my own. Well, I have a foot lift to get me back into bed. I can now sit up. The core is improving. I can walk with the mobility aid to the bathroom, so you feel much better being able to do that. I mean, I still need help having a shower, but I can, when I'm in the shower, I can pretty well wash myself, wash my hair and everything, so that wasn't able to do that. I've always been able to sort of talk, write, feed myself, you know, the brain's mostly still there. But it's the mobility, being able to get from one place to another on my own. The independence is, to me, vital. And, you know, and being able to move gives you the independence. So I have actually hopefully got that back. Whether it will improve or not, I don't know, but I'll take it as it is at the moment, because it's so a million times better than it was before. Yeah. Yes, I would. And I think, you know, I've had Shri and Devi who are sort of more permanent here, but it's actually been helpful. Obviously, these hard-working people need a day off now and again. And so other physios from Therapies on Thames have come in, and everybody just has their slightly different way of telling you to do something or showing you to do something different. And that all made a difference. So you have to sort of build up these different ways, and it does help. So all of them have been helpful. Thank you. I shall miss a lot of people here, because the carers have been very kind, and the nurses, mainly the physios, you know.